Welcome to our next panel. Where do we find investments for job skills? How do we direct the resources we have? Allow me to present the panelists. Mr. Elvis Kotherja, Managing Director of Elite Travel Group, Mr. Taulant Balla, Head of Parliamentary Group, and Mr. Matteo Colangeli, Head of EBRD in Albania. Mr. Kotherja, floor is yours.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the endorsement. Thank you, Mr. Balla, for your participation. Mr. Matteo Colangeli, also thank you for your participation. And I would like to, I'm honored on having you on this panel, and very important day for all of us, and especially for our youth, which is related to our future. And yes, of course, this year it's very special concerning all, let's say, all these challenges we are having because of COVID-19, and this is not this is not the moment to talk about that, but it's our idea is to talk about the future of how we will tackle all the issues that came because of this pandemic, and therefore I want to let's say we have gone through a marathon of panel discussions, and we have seen a very high interest from the public to have more access, especially in vocational and education in all levels, for formal and non-formal skilling and reskilling. So first of all, I want to address my question to Mr. Colangeli. What are the plans of European Bank for Reconstruction and Development in Albania in the new era, where the demand for skilling, upskilling, and know-how are incrementally rising? And before getting your answer, I want to thank you as EBRD for your continuous support towards our company in your, your know-how, advice, and your know-how support has been very important for our company. So we are today here because we've got your assistance since February, and I cannot find any words how to thank you, to be honest. The advice we got from your organization, it's fundamental for us, and we are here because of you. So that's why we were honored to have you here, and tell also to colleagues in Albania, for all business, any kind of sector, to address their, if they have challenges or know-how, it's the right institution to get the right, let's say, advice. And this is life event for me. So please, floor is yours, and you can explain more.
Thank you very much for your kind words, and it's really a pleasure for me to participate to this forum today. Tourism is of course a key sector for the Albanian economy. It is also an industry which is being transformed as we speak by the impact of the pandemic, and should be and will be, I'm sure, an important source of sustainable jobs and also entrepreneurial opportunities for youth in this country. Now, I'm always happy to talk about tourism because we have what I think is a very exciting program that we developed in partnership with the Albanian authorities and the European Union, and which is just about to start being implemented in the coming months. This program is exciting not only for its size, which is significant at over 100 million euro, but also because it focuses on the development of cultural heritage, nature, enogastronomic, and adventure tourism, which are areas where Albania has great unexploited potential, which, by the way, should be among the first to bounce back from the crisis, and where quality employment and business opportunities for young people can and I'm sure will be created in Albania in the coming years. Now, this program has three main pillars, which I wanted to briefly talk about, and all of them with a heavy focus on building knowledge and skills. The first is developing enabling infrastructure in the country in two main areas. The first is connectivity, to make it easier for tourists to travel around Albania and improve access to the country's many cultural and natural beauties. But also the upgrade of key services such as waste management or wastewater treatment, where improvements are needed if Albania is to attract a higher segment of the global tourism market. The second pillar is developing products so that Albania can capitalize on its richness in terms of the unique and authentic experiences it can offer to a visitor. We will do that by using EU grants to restore and preserve cultural and natural assets around the country, such as museums, archaeological sites, or national parks. But also by working with industry stakeholders, including the municipalities in the core regions covered by this program, to develop new offerings, new activities and services to strengthen the competitiveness of Albanian tourism, create quality employment opportunities, and also contribute to achieving what, in my view, should be the main KPI for this industry in Albania, which should really be average revenues per tourist. In other words, the focus should be on how much money each visitor leaves behind in Albania, rather than simply on the number of tourists coming to the country. And again, here I think there is ample room to develop opportunities, especially for disadvantaged groups, young people, women, local communities, making the sector more inclusive and widening the portion of society contributing to and benefiting from the tourism industry. The third and final pillar is one which is very dear to our hearts at EBRD. It's private sector competitiveness. First, through access to finance, and here we are working to expand the scope of the existing lending facility, which we have established through local banks for the agribusiness sector, and which is supported by the National Guarantee Fund, to include also companies in the tourism sector under this facility. This should make it easier for local SMEs to borrow, and will also make available to those that take out an investment loan a grant from the European Union worth 10% of the amount they borrow. Secondly, and this is what you were referring to previously as Elite Group is one of our star clients when it comes to advisory services, building skills and know-how for Albanian SMEs. And we do this through the Advice for Small Business program, which in Albania makes available EU-funded local and international advisors to support companies in growing and becoming more competitive. We work with around 60 SMEs per year with special attention to tourism, focusing with each one on their individual needs, be it strategy, marketing, finance, or training their staff. During the pandemic, we are further expanding the outreach of our Advice for Small Business initiative through digitally delivered programs targeted at disseminating knowledge on key industry topics, or even more generally on how to navigate and survive through the current crisis. But we are also going to look at skills and skill gaps in particular in a more systemic manner in the tourism sector by establishing an Albanian Sector Skills Council for the hospitality industry. This will be a platform for focused dialogue between authorities and the private sector to identify specific areas where skill shortages exist and agree on steps that the authorities and the private sector can take together to address these gaps through education, vocational training, and on-the-job professional development. I will stop here. I would, of course, be happy to take any questions, and would like to thank you again very much for the invitation to be with you today and for your attention, of course. Thank you.
sorry, because I would like to thank you, and because I will come back to you again, because I need to talk to Mr. Balla, which is also a stakeholder, and it's important for our city. I mean, I found to him also when we have discussed for the city development, I found support, always have been very supportive, but he's in a challenge now because as you have announced, our mayor in our city have announced that Elbasan Digital 2025, it's a reality now, and it's a way to go. So digital city, we do believe that this should be streamed in all area where Mr. Balla is already in other municipalities in our region, because digitalization, and green cities and smart cities, it's not only for one region, but should be for all our country. So it's a bit more wider. And Mr. Balla has in a way a responsibility to support this. And when we discussed in different talks, he's very much willing, because this is an initiative of the government, of course, but also him politically to have a better, let's say, politics and have a better inclusive of the people in that. And because digitalization is all about training people and empowering people. So, Mr. Balla, what is your take on this? And floor is yours.
Thank you, Elvis, for inviting me. And first of all, I want to thank EBRD for the attention and for the good cooperation that we have had during the last years. And I have to tell that our district, Elbasan district, is the winner of one of the big projects announced for this year from EBRD, such as the new road that connects the district of Elbasan with district of Dibra. And it gives to Elbasan now the complete connection northwest, south and east, because through this road now Elbasan can get just directly connected to the district of Dibra. It's a road passing through Librajt, Strbleva, and then going up to Peshkopi to connect with the other roads there. Secondly, I congratulate you for finding such a very nice and beautiful and historical day, 8th of December. It's the day of youth, but it's the day that 30 years before Albania started the democratic processes. And the students were those who fought since the beginning for democracy and for a better Albania, fighting to make Albania a member of European Union. And now we are in a very crucial moment, I would emphasize, because we are now at a momentum of getting ready to start the negotiations. We have got the yes to start, and now we are waiting today and tomorrow. Maybe something can happen in the summit of EU on the next days. So both for Albania and North Macedonia, EU approves the negotiation framework. Coming back to your main topic, I would like also to thank that you are working with the mayor Latvia on not bringing forward, but trying to realize our main development goal, such as Elbasan 2025 to be a digital city. I'm always in favor of digitalization, because digitalization is a way to improve services. And also there is a way, or it is the only way to combat corruption. By stopping connection in between people, by stopping people meeting each other in an office, you have a better fight against corruption. And we don't have to invent. There are so many other countries that we can refer to these examples. By bringing public services to more digitalized service, this is the only way to improve services, but also to fight corruption. When it comes to the public administration reform, I would like to tell you that this is one of those homeworks that Albania has delivered in a very short time, good and very tangible results. If you would have a look on the last European Commission report this year, it was emphasized these tangible results that the government of Albania has achieved in its public administration reform. Nevertheless, in the future, these achievements need to be further consolidated, meaning that we have to continue on the path that we are.
Thank you, Mr. Balla. And this is interesting because, yes, last year, I mean, this is your attention has been very good for the conference, because last year you promised you did some promises which have been achieved, because the number of services bringing online has been achieved, and the youth committee, which we have, was happy with it.
If I can get the floor once again, you remember what we discussed last year and where we stand.
Yes.
For example, we have almost 350 public services that you can access them online. If we compare this to other neighboring countries, for sure Albania is standing ahead. And then what has been 2020 for the government of Albania, for us as a majority, for sure, not because of COVID times, but
there's been a vision behind it.
Yeah, but sure. But since January, we started this big reform to bring more services being accessible online. And then when COVID happened, and that made the situation more required by the people to have access through online, I can tell you that eAlbania is one platform that can give so many services to Albanians. So we kept somehow the promises, but we are on the road to give more services online.
Yeah, absolutely. What I want to discuss also, to inform you and Mr. Colangeli, as a company, we have gone a little bit further. During this pandemic time, we have been very much hurted because of tourism. It's already gone for a while. We are minus 80% by the end of this year compared to 2019. But nevertheless, we use this time to reskill and to do a lot of training for our team. And what we have done is that, first of all, this is a good, also thanks to Mr. Colangeli and also EBRD Albania, we will become first company paperless, tourism company paperless in Albania by January. First certified travel life, which is exceptional. And what I have told to our team, and what we have done as a team altogether, we have had more than 60 hours trainings, different trainings throughout this year. And what we have changed in our way we work, next year we will become more like advisors and coaches. 60% of the time of an employee in our company will be educator to other employees, because we want to increase our, we will increase our business, and 40% they will do operations. So we have gone through a process when we change completely the setup of the company. We are not anymore a company in tourism, we are an advisor for our suppliers to bring more, let's say, more know-how into the market, because we've gained a lot and we have to share this. And we have a lot of resources on that to share with our, to improve, because customer service is what we miss in Albania, and we need to share this. So we bring our experience into the market, which could be valuable for the country itself, for a small and medium-sized business, for EBRD, because we wanted to bring this back. We've been helped by EBRD, and we want to bring this wealth back, and also to the government to support small business. For us, it's vital to support small business in Albania, because there is a lot of potential. And our vision as a company is to walk from north to south of Albania, to walk, to take a bicycle, or to run, to take a mountain bike, and help. And every 3-4 hours you can stop, have wine, enjoy good food, can sleep somewhere. So this is our vision, and we have it already. and also to bring the farmers having a voice into the market. So we have plenty of, Mr. Balla, it's in this region, you know how big is our potential in our region, and that is we want to empower now. And therefore, I want to ask you the last questions to both Mr. Colangeli and also to Mr. Balla. What are the short and medium plans for the Albanian government on skilling, reskilling, and upskilling of the employees? Is there any initiative or any budget allocated on that? Short can be a message then for youth in Albania. This is the most important. Yes.
Mr. Balla, maybe you go first, since the question is about what the Albanian government is planning to do, but and then I'd be happy to also add.
Okay, let me say 2 words when it comes to what we are, what I started to say about the public administration and our strategies to make to invest on making youth that are becoming part of the administration more skillful. So we have now a very comprehensive strategy, which is called the Cross-Cutting Public Administration Reform Strategy, that was approved by the government since 2015, and it is serving as a strategy document which guides the reforming of the administration based on 4 main pillars: clear strategic objectives and an action plan which foresees the implementation of 100 activities. In the action plan 2018-2022 of this cross-cutting public administration reform strategy, there are included different activities with main goal of increasing skills and capacities of civil servants. Regarding the number of employees that benefit from the training activities carried out by this strategy, we have also included the Albanian School of Public Administration, who is training around 5,000 employees. During 2020, COVID-19 has created an important challenge to this direction of skilling, reskilling, upskilling the employees. But based on other countries' experiences, also on this regard, digitalization was helpful, and so the whole process of skilling and upskilling was transferred online, with the intention of reshaping it in a way that does not include the human connection in the learning process, despite being apart, because also the normal school was done online. So online platforms are used in order to overcome the challenges, and I'm very happy to see at the end of this year that we are standing very good. And if you want some also financial data, there were allocated by the state budget activities and dedicated to the development of capacities of the employees. I can tell you that it is €250,000 that was given by the state budget for this year, and I think for the next year also we have planned to invest on what we share the same idea with you, that any investment that is done today for our public administration on skilling and upskilling, it's good for the process that we are starting. I remember by my experience when I was a student in Romania, and Romania was getting prepared to join the European Union at that time, and it was it was on the last year, so 3-4 years to join European Union, and I know how much important is any minute, any hour, any day that we have now, because once we'll be members of the European Union, we have to be to show more competition on preparing projects, on implementing projects that will come from the European Union. So any initiative like yours today, and any investment on skilling and upskilling youth and public administration is very important.
Thank you, Mr. Balla. Mr. Colangeli?
Yes, maybe just a couple of comments from me. The first one, maybe just going back to the vision of tourism that you outlined before. I mean, I'm personally a big believer in Albania as a destination for this kind of active niche tourism, where it's not simply bringing a large number of people to a hotel and sitting them on a beach and feeding them for 2 weeks and then sending them back to their country. It's about creating experiences that play on the uniqueness of Albania, and Albania has so many authentic and unique experiences that tourists cannot find elsewhere in the world, and that should be capitalized upon. But to do that, absolutely, you need skills. You need to train people for jobs which are quality jobs, from guides to any other highly skilled niche tourism job, which can present opportunities for young people, especially to build a career in this sector. The other point I wanted to make is that, especially when it comes to young people, the progress of tourism in Albania, in terms of gaining a higher share of the global tourism market and targeting wealthier tourists in this country, a big part of that will have to come together with formalization. And I think this is also important when it comes to giving opportunities to young people. You cannot provide a long-term perspective to a young employer of yours, if the person doesn't have a full formal working contract, if the person is only employed for 3 months in the peak season and then abandoned for the rest of the year. Right. So going formal is expensive at first. Of course it is a cost, but it really should be seen as an investment in your people and as an investment in the future of your company and of your industry, because it is the only way to grow and to become competitive on the international market.
Thank you very much. Yes, you are right, and that is as an organization, our corporate social responsibility is on the aspect, the social aspect, which is education. And we are very happy to announce that we are responsible not only to, let's say, we are responsible to give to the public something which is know-how, because we get and we have to give. If we give, then this is our social responsibility, and all of us should contribute. Someone could contribute on education by giving, supporting the vocational education and training, by supporting the labor office, municipality with trainings and all. So this is part of what we are doing, and we see benefits because this is the most important investment for us. And the last but not least is what I have for you, Mr. Colangeli, is that is there interest from EBRD to support our initiative from the committee of we've created last year we had a commitment from the youth committee that the mayor of our city, Mr. Latia, committed to create the committee for education and vocational education for youth. So this has been created last week. We have had the first meeting. 36 people involved, business, organization, public institutions, all very much motivated. And where he proclaimed already the vision for Elbasan Digital 2025 to be, first of all, green city, to be digital city, and then to have a smart city inside, center of business process outsourcing, all in alignment with 17 UN challenges. So is there any way to cooperate with our region? Because we see a lot of, by the sources we have all here. I mean, when we had the meeting last week, everybody was surprised how many sources we have, but we need to bring that synergy. We have 80% of things. We just need the love, and we need the motivation to work all together. We got a lot of commitment from these 2 days. We've got from Oracle, we've got from support from Mr. Atali, we've got from the Adventure Travel Trade Association. We got from Handball Federation support. So there is a lot of energy. I see people different now, and the youth, I see interest. So will there be a support from Mr. Balla and also from as a government? I think we have, and he will get his take, and I'm sure he will be supportive. But also as you as an EBRD, yeah? And then we can elaborate after. And Mayor is also interested to have an opinion. So we have 5 minutes, so you can say the final thing and we close then. But I'm very happy for this. Yeah.
From my side, you mentioned green, you mentioned digitalization, you mentioned the inclusion of social inclusion, especially youth. And actually, these three happen to be the three strategic priorities of EBRD globally, not only in Albania. So, given that these are the ingredients of your initiative in Elbasan, I cannot think that we would not find a way to support it, in one way or another. So we can continue this conversation offline, of course. But your initiative is certainly very much in tune with what we hope to be doing in Albania and in all other countries of operation in the years to come. So certainly it is an initiative of interest.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I would like to thank Mr. Balla and Mr. Colangeli for their time. I would also like to thank Mr. Kotherja for the moderation. Thank you. Please tune in at 5:30 for a closing statement from the mayor and Prefect Georgi, as well as a surprise announcement from Elite Travel Group.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.